25. The age where so many of us wake up and ask ourselves, am I anywhere near where I thought I'd be by now? And a lot of us honestly say no. I turned 25 in about 13 weeks, and I'm not who 18 or 21-year-old me thought I'd be. But instead of letting turning 25 spook me into stagnancy, I'm choosing to see it as a reset. A chance to reconnect with myself and return to the things that truly bring me joy. Not to mention, it's the first time in my life I've really stopped, looked at my mental health, and decided to take care of it instead of just constantly pushing through. Even just that choice alone has changed everything for me because I now know how much ignoring it was hurting. And I finally am feeling more free than ever to just create. My YouTube channel and my web design studio, yeah, those dreams are turning into reality. Instead of some big, daunting challenge, now YouTube is a place for me to build my whole world. I don't have to limit myself to please anyone because I'm a whole person who experiences a whole life, and that whole life is worth being shared. I finally started learning how to draw. I'm getting into painting again and using my hands to make things now more than ever. I am so excited for whatever this chapter brings. After all, 25 is some random number society gave to us to have it all together. Truth is, I got time. And for me, 25 is a fresh start. So I've been finding myself thinking more and more about what my own timeline is. I started my first job, immediately got burnt out and then got laid off. Decided to chase my dreams for the first time in life, but perfectionism and anxiety kept me held back and crippled for a long time, literally until just a couple months ago. My peers and people around me are moving at light speed, it feels, compared to what I feel is chugging along like a little train. And as much as 25 is some random arbitrary number, I'd be lying to you if I said that I didn't see myself being a lot further along by now. Because to be fully honest with you, December was the very first time in my life that I decided to take control of my mental health. For the first time, I said, enough is enough, and I don't have to feel like this. I don't have to or deserve to feel this constant weight and this constant sense of dread. I can create without perfectionism being the loudest voice in my mind. And did it take a couple bad panic attacks to get there? Who's to say? But we got there, and I'm happy to report that I am now on the up and up. So this is more of a side note in the video, but it is so important that we look after our brains. That is literally the thing that makes us who we are and the thing that allows us to create the things that we do. And I personally lost so much art. I lost so many YouTube videos, so many designs, so much time learning about design as well because I was so worried about being perfect that I never thought about maybe just trying to exist. And of course, it's not like some random overnight thing. I don't want it to seem like that's how I'm putting it because it's not. Because my love of filmmaking didn't come from me knowing every single thing about a camera or every single thing about angles and whatever. It came around because my mom bought this little girl right here a camera. And because this little girl got a camera and literally never put it down, this big girl loves to film. And my overthinking is depriving her. How am I supposed to look her in her eyes and be like, yeah, you didn't properly expose the footage, so I deleted all of it? She'd be like, girl, what? Why'd you do that? So here I am to share with you this version of Danielle, who is not afraid to turn 25 at all, because she knows that this is going to be her most creative year. She's not going to overthink. And she's just going to document these moments of healing her relationship with creativity. And instead of seeing being multifaceted as a drawback, I'm going to see it as a superpower. Because yes, I love to design, but I also love fitness and I love cooking. But the thing that draws all of the things that I love together is art, and that is my lens. Y'all, I was just talking for a good while and did not realize that my microphone is not on. This year, keeping a vision board has felt so important to me, and I want to share with you the vision board I made for 2026 because I think this says a lot about who I would like to become in this next chapter of my life. So this is going to be a deep dive into my 2026 creative mind map, which exists in the form of a vision board. Because all of these ideas are pretty layered and interconnected, and I'm showing up a lot more intentionally than I was in 2025, so I feel like it's important to break this down. As you might know if you saw the other video of mine, I'm working on starting my own design studio. So instead of, like I did in 2025, just randomly putting money on the vision board, I added a little snippet that says I get highly paid for doing what I love. But in order for any of that to happen, my body has to be healthy, my mind has to be creative, and my soul has to be calm. So in order for all of that to be true, I need to choose to prioritize my mental health. You see how I kind of like mapped it? Underneath that is the how, along with some things that I want to obtain. Like, I've been on a fitness journey since August of last year, and my goal for this year is to run. I want to be a runner, and I've been literally today, I ran for 7 minutes. And from somebody who could previously run for 0 minutes, we're doing something, we're getting there. But in the summers, I want to wake up bright and early and go for a run and come back and eat healthy, take care of my body. Last year in my YouTube goals, I just slapped a random play button that I saw on Pinterest on my vision board. But this year I included pictures of girlies holding cameras. Close to the center here is a DJI because I cannot wait to make that investment into that camera. And then, because I know no bounds when it comes to camera collecting, apparently, I want to get a Fujifilm for pictures. I know it's like, why do you need that? The answer, I love how the pictures come out. I love how the pictures come out. But that's an end of the year Christmas gift to myself type of thing. So we'll work our way there. Maybe soon, who knows? Hey, it could be soon. I know I'm not going about this in any particular order. I'm just kind of speaking, really. So the iPad and laptop open with Pinterest, and then the laptop that's overlooking that beautiful view in their two respective places. And to me, this represents my deeper desire to work from anywhere I want because I've owned a successful studio. Like my design business and my trust in my own creativity has led me to be able to literally work wherever I please. Is it too dark in here? Let me turn the light on. Okay, that's a little better, I think. I see myself really settling into this life of trusting that creativity can sustain me instead of doing it out of fear or making it a secondary thing. So that's what that represents to me, along with the fact that I'm trying to be a MacBook girly one day. I also included little moments of self-care, things that I love, like matcha, like little just because things, you know? And then the more mindful and intentional ones, like journaling, taking care of my skin and my hair, because I'm trying to get my mini twists down my back. And when I tell you down my back, I need them to touch the floor, like right now. I cut my hair in December, and I'm growing it back throughout this entire year. Like in December, I'm gonna need you to come back to this video and compare the length of my hair now versus in December, because my mini twists are gonna be juicy and long. Now in the center here represents something that I really want to be and do in my life, which is go to a coffee shop and draw in public. I started learning how to draw in December because, I'll talk about this either later or in another video, but I've been feeling a very intense draw to make things with my hands and have non-digital hobbies again. Because I have plenty of non-digital hobbies like crocheting, fitness, but the thing I've always wanted to do ever since I was like 12 was be able to draw really well. Like I want to make beautiful art, make beautiful work. Like I used to paint all the time when I was younger, but the perfectionism started working her magic up here. I also plan on making a separate video about my journey with learning how to draw from scratch at the age of 24, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I want to be a coffee shop artist. I think I've covered pretty much everything on this vision board. With my business and getting back to drawing and cameras and all that stuff and self-care. And in about 10 minutes, I have a business class to attend. It's with about 21 other women business owners, and it goes through the entire month of February, so Yep, always be networking. So I'm gonna go get ready for that call. Confronting this quarter life crisis is that I want to change my habits. And as you know, if you've seen my first video on this channel, one of the things that always happens is whenever I get overwhelmed, my room is always the first thing to get messy. But lately I've been trying to adopt the mindset of just like I clean my body and I clean my clothes, my room, my space should be clean just the same. And I also did a big declutter just so I could start my year with like a fresh mindset, fresh space, you know, just getting rid of some old stuff that I don't need or use anymore that I can like donate or pass down to my cousins or something. I'm looking at this stuff and I don't feel like doing it, but I'm going to. Okay, we are back. So one thing that I really want to be mindful of for myself throughout this journey is keeping things out of my head and onto paper. And I don't want to just be typing things out on my phone anymore whenever I get an idea and just having them sit in the notes app. I want to be able to really use my hands and connect with whatever I'm putting down for whatever I'm doing, whether it's my business or YouTube, anything, design, art, whatever ideas I have, I want to write them down and have them physically exist. So if you saw my last video, then you know that I got this notebook from the bookstore and I focused on YouTube specifically for this one, and it's been really helpful in mapping out this new creative direction for my channel and this whole idea of just making things, and whatever I think of is all part of the world that I'm creating here. So I picked this one up specifically for Peach Creative Studio, and I intend on doing the same thing because it's brought me so much clarity about the direction for my channel and my art. I think one of the most important things that I did this weekend and for my business overall was start this journal off by addressing all of the limiting beliefs that I have about being a business owner and starting a creative studio. Because recovering from being a perfectionist with serious anxiety and now being in a place where I'm managing that anxiety, my goal with my web design studio is I want people to leave their experience with me being like, I can do this. This is possible for me. So I do have quite a few videos planned about specifically Peach Creative Studio, but in this sort of launch of season 2, I'm calling it. So these new feelings about turning 25 are spooky, yes, but I feel very invigorated by them. Like, they're really not so spooky when I break them down like this, you know, the journaling and the new routines and like all that stuff, and just doing the things that I want to do unapologetically this year. Like, that sounds like a good time. Low key, like, that sounds like a good time. Don't forget to subscribe, please, because if you subscribe, you get a big hug. Because if you subscribe, you become an OG. You become one of the gang. Because if you subscribe, you get to join the party. And on top of that, it's winter right now. When it's summer and I'm truly outside, you don't want to miss that. You don't want to miss that. Okay, see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.